Today's video is going to be all about first-time cruises, what you need to know for ocean cruising. If this is your first time, here are some helpful tips for you to get started on your next ocean cruise. My name is Shantamani, and I'm the CEO of Luxury Destination Concierge, and we help busy professionals and others who want to plan their trips, whether it be a cruise or a land adventure. We are there to help you. So let's get started with tips for our ocean cruise. Before you board, there are some essential things that you need to be prepared with. The first thing I would advise you to do is, as soon as you book your cruise, get on the cruise line's app. Every cruise line has an app, and that's the best way to get familiar with your particular sailing, look at the itinerary, purchase your onboard amenities that you want. So there are a lot of things you can do through the app. So make sure that you download the app, go to the App Store, whether you have an Android or an iPhone, download the app and get started with downloading your cruise line app. So this is what basically it'll look like. You'll have a home page which will list your itinerary, and then it'll give you different tabs where you can go and check out the different amenities on the ship. Complete your online check-in to save time at the terminal. Typically, this usually takes place within around 45 days prior to your cruise. So just make sure you mark it on your calendar and check in online, because your boarding sequence, how it depends on when you check in. So the earlier you check in, the earlier boarding time you will get. Unless, of course, it'll depend also on your loyalty level or whether you're on a suite or not. But for most people, the sooner you check in, the earlier boarding time you will get over here. Make sure you check your validity of your passport. As soon as you book your cruise, or even before that, just check your validity of your passport. Passports have to be valid for 6 months beyond the return. So, for example, if you're returning on June 1st, it has to be valid for 6 months beyond that, from that date. So just check your passports. Don't wait till the end to get your passports renewed. Book shore excursions early. Now, this can be done through the app, or if you do not want to do the app, you can also log into your cruise line, manage my cruise, and you can do it there. If you go into your account on the cruise line app, you will find this lists all the excursions day by day. So make sure you book it ahead of time, because they do sell out sometimes. And don't worry, if you find that it's not available one day, go back a couple of days later and check, and you may find that somebody has canceled. But it's best to book early. Now, you can always change it or cancel it a few days before the actual excursion. So if you think you're going to want to do that, just go ahead and book it early enough. And always, always purchase travel insurance for peace of mind, whether it's a cruise or any other journey that you take. It's a small investment, but you'll be thankful in case of any medical emergencies. You don't want to land up with big bills. Packing smart, what to bring and what to leave behind. Cruises are becoming a little less formal these days, except some of the luxury cruise line. A lot of people do dress up. Not like before, not like too many of them don't wear the long cocktail day. You do have people who wear cocktail dresses, the long ones, tuxes. You see guys with tuxes, but it's not absolutely needed, especially if you're going on a Caribbean cruise or an Alaska cruise. You can be a little less formal. Always make sure you're in a pretty good cocktail dress. It doesn't have to be a long one, it could be a short one. It could even be pants and a great top or a jacket on that. So you bring one or two dressy outfits. Most of the time it's all casual, resort casual. In the main dining room as well, you know, you don't want to go in there with shorts and flip-flops. Make sure that you are in a resort casual attire when you go there. Don't forget your sunscreens and your medications. Refillable bottle of water comes real in handy. You don't have to buy the bottled water in the mainstream cruise lines. Now, a lot of the luxury cruise lines will give you bottled water, but for most of the cruise lines, you would need to buy bottled water if you need it. So, but they do have water stations all around, and if you bring your refillable water bottle, you can fill that up. Pack a day bag if you're going on an excursion for a whole day. Pack a small bag, like a little day backpack that you can take on those excursions. What to leave at home? Don't take any irons, don't take any candles, no surge protectors. Hair dryers, they provide hair dryers, so you can leave that behind. So there are some of those things that you need to be aware not to take. Now check with your regulations on your cruise line. There is a section which says what not to bring. So each cruise line has that. So make sure you take that and go. Embarkation day. Arrive at the terminal typically between 11 and 1 p.m. for smooth boarding. Now, most of the cruise lines will assign an arrival time for you based on the time you check in. So try to stay as close to that as possible. But if you do want to go early to the port, to the pier, and wait, sometimes you get to go in early. Sometimes you may have to wait for your boarding time. But it's good to go in early, and all you can go in whatever time your boarding time says so. Always carry all your essential and important documents like your passports, your boarding pass, your credit card, and your medications on you. Do not put it in your check bag. Always carry it in your hand baggage. Now, your stateroom may not be ready until about 1 or 1:30. It just depends on how fast the cruise staff can get the cabins ready because they would have just come back from a previous cruise that morning and they need to turn it around for you. So it may not always be ready when you check in, but no worries. You can take your bags and go to one of the dining areas. The buffet is usually typically the one which is always open on the top deck. So go and grab some lunch and have a relaxing lunch and enjoy. And then by then after that you can go and check on your stateroom and see if it's ready. One of the things you need to do is your safety drill, a safety drill. Uh, On the app, it has some videos that you would need to watch for your safety information. If you don't do it on your app, it's also available on in your cabin TV. So everybody needs to watch the safety videos. And then once you get on board, now you can watch those safety videos even before you get on board through your app. Once you get on board, you need to go to the muster station and you need to check in. If you look at the image here, it says in green, this particular muster station is E2, and it tells you it's in the Cafe Promenade area. So you just need to go there and they will check you off that you've come in and checked in, and that's all you need to do. But do make sure you check in. The ship will not sail if everybody hasn't checked in, and they will call you out on the speakers if those who have not checked in. So you don't want to do that. So make sure that as soon as you go on board, check in, but also complete watching the safety videos. Another thing that is important is now is the health certification on the day of sailing. On the app, there is a health certification which you need to go and check off. So that's something which is also required from everybody. Dining options. What's on board an ocean cruise? All the ocean cruises have a main dining room. They may have a couple of main dining rooms on two different levels, but it's one dining room. And they also have a buffet, which is always available for breakfast, lunch, and dinner up on the top deck. And that's all included in your cruise fare. Now, specialty dinings on the mainstream cruise lines are usually extra charge. Now, they have a list of specialty dining and there are prices on that. You can find it on your cruise app and you can choose whether you want to go in there or not. Now, so first time cruises, unless you something is really appealing to you, the main dining room is perfectly fine if you want to enjoy that. You will have the same table, you'll have the same waiters, they get to know you. So it's nice to do that. But there are some great specialty restaurants which are worth trying. So feel free to go ahead and sign up for those, which you can find on your cruise app. Now, room service is often complimentary, but small delivery fee may apply. Now, and then the room service as well as the specialty restaurants. Now, they're not always an extra charge in all cruise lines. Some of the premium cruise lines or the luxury cruise lines like the Seabourn and the Regents, they all don't charge for the specialty restaurants. and they may not have room service either. So check with your cruise line or your cruise to see whether there's a charge for specialty dining and if there's a charge for room service. And regarding dietary needs, all the cruise lines are able to support any and all dietary needs. So before you sail, if you're working with a travel advisor, let them know, or let the cruise line know if you're not, and let them know what your dietary needs are. I would also, once you get on board, meet with the dining staff and confirm your dietary requirements. There's never a dull moment on the ship. There's tons of things to do, and one way to keep abreast of what's happening is on the daily newsletter. Now, most of the cruise lines, I think, are slowly pulling back from printing paper, which is a good thing because you really don't need it in the paper format. It's all available on your app. When you go to your app, you can see your daily planner, and it'll give you a day by day, step hour by hour as what's happening throughout the ship, where the dining is, where you can find anything you need is all over there. The entertainment is usually spectacular. It's in the evenings. They typically have two shows for people who have early dining and late dining, and there are Broadway shows with live music. Now, this is on the mainstream cruise lines. Now, some of the luxury cruise line may have a more toned down. They will have some entertainment, but may not be a big Broadway show. It could be just live music in some of the places. Just differs on ship by ship, but everybody has some sort of an entertainment. You'll never be bored on the ship. There's the spa and the hot tubs. Make sure you use all of that all through the ship. Now, so I've noticed that some people come prepared with their bathing suits. If their rooms are not ready, they make use of the hot tubs and the pools. So that's something you can do. Pack your bathing suit in your hand carry baggage so that if you feel like it, you can go right into and start your cruise enjoyment. Activities, there's, like I said, there's plenty of things to do. You can catch it all on your cruise planner, from cooking demonstrations to fitness classes to art auctions to um, trivia, dancing, dance classes, lots of different things. So check your activities calendar for that. On sail away and on certain theme nights, you will find that there are going to be deck parties. So check your planner and you can find your list for the sail away party. It's fun. Don't miss that, especially being your first cruise. You want to get right into it and enjoy it. Just a quick thing about the shore excursions. Book through the cruise line for guaranteed return. You could book through outside third-party cruise shore excursion. The problem with that is sometimes if there's a delay in getting back, you may miss the ship. The ship's not going to wait for you. But if you book through a ship organized tour excursion, the ship will never depart till everybody gets back on board. Typically, onboard time, all aboard time is usually about 45 to 30 minutes before departure. I like to come back an hour before departure just in case there's something I needs to take extra time, so I always plan on being there an hour earlier. Some of the ports have tender ports where you have to take a smaller ship to go from the ship to the port pier. Because the ship is so big and the cities don't have big enough pier to bring those big ship in, they dock a little into the ocean and then everybody transfers from a tender port to the pier. Now, when it's a tender port, leave extra time because when you come back, if the last tender has departed, you're stuck on port. And then it's a big hassle, especially if you don't have your passport, you don't have your documents, and you don't have money. It's a big hassle because the ship's not going to wait for you and the ship's not going to turn around for you. So make sure to keep aware of whether it's a tender port, leave more than an hour time to get back, and always get back early enough. Understanding the onboard expenses. The ship is cashless. It's like your key card, if your room key is like a credit card. They don't accept cash anywhere on board, except, the spa, maybe if you're doing it, giving a tip. But everywhere else is all cashless. Now, gratuities are automatically added. They're not included, they're automatically added to your onboard account. On some of the luxury cruise lines, they are already included in it. But for most part, gratuities are automatically added to your onboard account. Now, again, though those are the standard gratuities. Now, if you want to tip somebody, a staff or wait staff who's gone over and above that, feel welcome to do that, and you can do that with cash. Review your account the day before you disembark, or even periodically. Make sure that all the charges are correct so that you can go ahead and get that corrected with the guest services. Extra costs, drinks, soda, specialty coffee, and alcohol usually cost extra, and there are packages available which you can find on your through your app. Just check that out. And then also Wi-Fi packages, they're not always included. Some of the luxury lines may, but most of the time they're not included. So check out those packages and see which one works best. Now, for the drinks and the Wi-Fi and the excursions, keep watching. As soon as you book your cruise, you can keep watching. You do get specials where they have like 35% off or 40% off. So keep watching those so that you can take advantage of those. Just a couple of cruise etiquette. Make sure that you respect everybody's quiet time. Don't save chairs if somebody's not going to come for a very long time, and just keep so that everybody else can use it. And then for shows, be punctual. You want everybody to be in place, and the show starts. You don't like to have people walk through. And then dress code. Follow the dress code that the cruise line provides, and especially in the evenings and the specialty dining restaurants, make sure you follow the dress code. And most of all, if you find somebody who's gone over and above beyond that, in addition to the automatic gratuities that are added, feel free to tip those crew members. They work hard, and a little extra help definitely makes a big difference. Finally, on disembarkation day, now pack the night before and place your luggage outside the door by 11 p.m., or depending on when your cruise line wants it. Now, that is if you want the staff to take your luggage and so down to the terminal when you arrive at port. Now, if you're just carrying a hand carry-on, not a full-size suitcase, if it's just a hand baggage, like a small wheelie, you can take that by yourself. You don't need to leave it the night before. You can just take it with you when you disembark. But if it's anything beyond a small bag, which you would take on an airplane, just give it to the staff. You don't want to be lugging that around through the ship, through the terminal, down the escalator. You don't want to do that. So just give it to the staff. Place your bag on the door the night before. Make sure you keep a set of clothes and any necessities, your medications, your passport, all your valuable documents with you in your small hand baggage, but take the bigger suitcases, and let the staff take that out. Settle your account before, just make sure that your account is all correct. You don't need to go to the guest services to settle out. If everything is fine, they will automatically just charge you for the what you owe. Breakfast is available on the morning of disembarkation. Most times it's at the buffet area. Depending on your loyalty level, you may have it at a dining room, or if you're in a suite, you could have it in a dining room. So check where you can have breakfast, but breakfast is usually available for around about 6 o'clock or so. Now, disembark, they like you to be out of your cabins usually by 8 o'clock, because the ship needs to turn around and get ready for the next set of people. So make sure you're out of your cabin by 8. You can either go for breakfast before, or take your things and go for breakfast at 8 o'clock. But just make sure you leave your cabin so that the staff don't get pressured to clean the place in a rush for the next people. Assign your luggage tags. Well, if you're packing the bags and leaving it out the night before, or if you're even walking out a few days before during the cruise, you will receive a paper which says, when are you disembarking? When is your flight? What time would you like to get off the ship? So if you're just walking out with your baggage, you can just say, if the ship is supposed to dock at 7, put 7 o'clock, or whatever time you want to leave the ship. Now, if you have to you would provide, if you're flying out, they usually like you to provide your airline flight timing so that they can appropriately give you the correct disembarkation color code for your luggage tags. So that luggage tag has to be attached to your bag, and then as they call out your luggage tag timing, so they'll start from the early disembarkation onward. So you would only disembark the ship when your luggage color code is called. So if I'm going out at 8 o'clock and mine is a blue tag, I need to wait till they announce that the blue tag folks are ready to depart. So all the instructions will be when they send you information of your disembarkation. Don't worry about it. It's all pretty clear and simple. But have a wonderful time on your upcoming cruise. If there's anything that I can help you with or any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And my information is all there. This is Shanta from Luxury Destination Concierge. Bon voyage.